Okay, so in the past, I really thought I had a pretty solid sense of self-worth. Like, genuinely. If you ask me, I'd say, yeah, I'm good. I love myself. I'm not out here desperate for validation. You know, the usual surface level confidence thing. But over time, I started noticing that these patterns that were just weren't adding up. Like, why did I feel amazing one day, then kind of empty the next, and literally nothing happened in between? Why was my mood so up and down based on stuff like whether someone replied fast, or if my post did well, or if I got compliments that day? It's not like anyone did anything to me. There was no heartbreak, no drama. It was just this background noise in my brain constantly going, was that enough? Did anyone notice me today? Do I still matter? And when I realized how much of my emotional state was being dictated by external stuff, other people's reactions, my notifications, random affirmations, I was like, okay, this doesn't make sense. Something's off. And then what really got me realizing was it's not just me. Like this whole needing to be seen thing, it's everywhere. You literally open Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and it's like everyone's trying to be affirmed in real time 24/7. You got girls post three versions of the same selfie and asking which one looks better, or people turning their grief into content, people turning their healing into content, and I'm not judging. You see, I've done it too. I've posted stuff before just hoping someone would comment something nice or check in or just notice. And it's wild because we convince ourselves we're doing it just for fun or just expressing ourselves, but deep down we know we're trying to feel like we exist, like we matter. So I was like, alright, you know what? I'm gonna run an experiment. Let's just test this, like really test it. 7 days, no fishing for compliments, no subtle posts hoping someone reaches out, no analyzing what someone said or didn't say, no attaching my value to anyone's energy. And instead, I'll try to only seek that feeling, that love, that sense of being enough from Allah. Like, if I'm really honest about it, shouldn't His love be enough for me? Shouldn't I be able to just exist without the emotional caffeine hits from other people? So, that's the plan. I wanted to try it out, and hopefully, if it works, then maybe it'll help someone else too who's tired of this emotional roller coaster. Because let's be honest, the validation game, it's pretty exhausting, and half the time it doesn't even work. You get 100 likes and still feel empty. You get the text back and still question if you're enough. So, yeah, this week I'm testing what happens if I stop chasing that and start turning inward or turning upward. So, at this point, I'm like, okay, cool. Emotional detox, here we go. And I genuinely thought it was going to be simple. Like, in my head, I was like, oh, I just won't post anything. I won't check who watched my stories. I won't stare at the typing bubble like it's life or death. Done. Easy, right? No, not exactly. Absolutely not, actually. Within the first few hours, I was already twitching. I'd catch myself opening Instagram without even realizing it. Like my thumb knew the path better than my brain. It was like unlock, swipe, tap, and boom, I'm in. And I'd be like, wait, you're not supposed to be here. Go pray, go read, go breathe. And the most embarrassing part, I didn't even have anything to post. I wasn't even checking DMs or comments. I was literally just opening the app and scrolling like something was gonna make me feel loved. And I had to stop and be like, yo, what exactly am I looking for here? Like, what's the result I'm trying to get? A message, a view, a feeling of being seen? And the moment I started asking myself those questions, I realized I don't even know what enough looks like. Like, if someone did hype me up, or check on me, or validate me, it would last, what, a couple hours a day? And then I need it again. Like how people say you can make 400 a day watching YouTube shorts, but the second you stop watching, the money stops. Same thing. The second I stopped getting that little hit of attention, the whole high disappeared, which means I wasn't actually building self-worth. I was just recharging a temporary battery that kept dying on me. So yeah, turns out this challenge, it wasn't about just stop seeking validation. It was about retraining my brain and my heart to stop feeding off something that wasn't meant to sustain me in the first place. So now I'm in it, like I'm properly in it. And I've committed. I've told myself, you're not posting, you're not reaching, you're not refreshing to see if anyone saw your last story. And I thought, okay, cool. Now that I've cut off the input, the attention, the likes, the validation, I'll just go about my day normally. I'll be fine, I'll breathe, I'll be at peace. But no, that is not what happened. What actually happened was this weird silent energy started creeping up. Like the kind of silence that doesn't feel peaceful, it feels really loud. It feels like your brain is knocking on your own door, like, hey, why aren't we performing today? You know what I mean? So instead of doing what I normally do, which would have been scroll or post something relatable and wait for someone to respond with a "this is so me" or even drop a cute selfie and act like I'm not checking the numbers, I was like, okay, let's replace it with something better. So that's when I started journaling. And I meant like real journaling, not the aesthetic Pinterest version with perfect handwriting and washi tape. Just me, a beat up notebook, writing stuff like, today I feel weird, I feel invisible, I feel like I don't matter unless someone reminds me that I do. And honestly, that kind of raw honesty, it was good. Because it was the first time I wasn't packaging my feelings to make them palatable for someone else. I wasn't posting for engagement, I was just feeling, and then I took it farther. I was like, okay, every time I feel that urge, the reach, the scroll, the compulsive need to be noticed, I'll redirect. I'll make dhikr, I'll make dua, I'll literally just say, Ya Allah, help me feel whole. And not gonna lie, it felt awkward at first. Like I was sitting there in my hoodie whispering to the ceiling, like some emotional monologue. But the more I did it, the more real it became. I wasn't trying to perform anymore, I was trying to connect. So I'm like 4 days in now, or maybe even 5, and I've been doing the whole thing, catching myself when I start craving attention, redirecting to Allah, journaling at night, staying off stories, not posting stuff just to be seen. And here's what's wild. I thought by now I'd be free. I thought I'd wake up feeling whole and radiant and peaceful like those people in wellness reels sipping tea in slow motion. But instead, I kind of felt nothing. Not good, not bad, just this flatness. And at first I was like, wait, is this not working? Because I'm doing everything. I'm uploading all this emotional effort, like someone uploading a video to a new platform and waiting for the views to come in. And I'm sitting here like, where's the peace? Where's the reward? Where's the feeling of being spiritually held and emotionally healed and beautifully detached from the dunya? Hello? But then I remembered something. You see, validation has been my emotional currency for years, like literal years. I can't expect to detox it from it for 3 days and suddenly be a completely recentered soul or whatever. It just doesn't work like that. And I think a lot of us give up at this point. We try praying more, journaling more, pulling stuff away from social media. And when we don't immediately feel better, we're like, see, this doesn't work. I still feel empty. But that's a trick. The goal isn't to feel full all the time. The goal is to stop outsourcing our fullness to other people. It's like a muscle. You have to rebuild it slowly and quietly. And for once, the lack of instant feedback, that was the feedback. Because I wasn't performing for applause anymore. I was just existing for Allah. And bro, that's something I haven't done in a long time. So here I am, a few days in, and I stuck to it. I didn't post anything for likes. I didn't drop subtle story hints hoping someone would swipe up. I even started making small du'as throughout the day, like, Ya Allah, let me feel seen by you, or Ya Allah, let me be enough for myself today. And don't get me wrong, some days I did feel better than others, but there were also days where I was like, yeah, no, I'm still struggling, still low-key craving it. And I started getting frustrated with myself, like, what's wrong with me? I'm doing everything right. I unplugged, I reflected, I reached inward, so why don't I feel healed yet? But that's when it hit me. You see, healing isn't a transaction. You don't journal 3 times, skip social media for 4 days, pray 2 extra rakat, and boom, inner peace unlocked. Just like how you can't expect to upload random videos and immediately start making money, you can't expect to replace a whole emotional system overnight. See, the truth is, emotional dependency was something for me. It gave me a false sense of value, a sense of being seen, even if it was shallow. And now that I've taken that away, I'm left with this raw question. Where does my worth come from, if not from other people? And that brought me to this analogy. So, you know how in business they say money is just value times scale? Like, it's not just do something good, it's do something valuable and do it at scale. It made me think, maybe love works the same way. Maybe what we're really doing when we chase attention is trying to scale our self-worth. Like, instead of building real valuable self-love, we go for volume. More likes, more views, more attention, more eyes on us. But there's no depth to it. It's surface level stuff. It doesn't last. And because it's not actually valuable, we have to keep scaling. Post more, perform more, prove more. But it never satisfies. And that's when I realized I was never chasing love. I was chasing proof that I was enough. And the problem wasn't that I wasn't being loved. The problem was that I didn't believe I was lovable unless someone else said it first. So now I'm sitting here like, okay, let's be real. Why hasn't all the stuff I used to do, the posting, the glowing captions, the chasing attention, ever made me feel full? Why, no matter how many people liked the photo, replied to the story, said you're glowing or you're so wise, I still went to bed feeling low sometimes. Like, it technically should have worked, right? Enough external information should equal internal confidence, but it never did. Because here's the truth. You see, validation is not the same thing as love. It's not even the same thing as safety. Validation is like sugar. It gives you a hit, it gives you a rush, it lights you up for 30 minutes, and then you crash. Love is real, and it's slow, and it's nourishing. And when I really thought about it, I realized I wasn't looking for people, I was looking for proof. Proof that I still mattered, proof that I wasn't too much, proof that I was still beautiful and still wanted and still lovable. But none of those people could actually give me that proof because they didn't create it. They didn't know my purpose. They didn't write my worth into existence. Allah did. So here's the formula that I came up with. Just like how in business you've got value times scale equals income, I realized healing is self-worth times divine connection, which equals peace. Not performance times applause, not performance times attention, but self-worth, knowing you were created on purpose, with purpose, times divine connection, which is your link to Allah, your trust in Him, your love for Him. That's what makes you whole. And once you start building your life on that formula, you stop begging for crumbs. You stop shrinking yourself into likable captions. You stop hoping someone picks you, and you start choosing yourself with Allah by your side. So, yeah. After 7 days of not feeling validation, not reaching out, not posting for claps, I didn't go viral. I didn't get the text I secretly hoped for. I didn't suddenly feel perfect, but I felt steady. Like I could breathe without being seen, like I could rest without performing, like I didn't need to prove I was worthy anymore. I could just be. And honestly, that's the kind of freedom no amount of likes can ever give you. So if you're someone who's been caught in that cycle, the refreshing, the seeking, the hoping someone notices, I feel you. I've been there and I still fall into it sometimes, but now at least I know where to come back to. And if nothing else, this challenge showed me one thing, that I was never invisible. I just needed to stop looking down for validation and start looking up.